So why does Eastern and Western Christianity look so different? It's their original place and cities of origin. So the East originated out of Alexandria, and Western religion originated out of Rome. Well, in the East, in Alexandria, that region there had its primary influences, mindset, came from the Persian period. And the Persians, their idea of God and the idea of the spiritual is so much different than the Western's idea of God and the idea of the spiritual. Here's what I mean. The West believes that there is strength in clarity, understanding a subject to its minutia. On the contrary, the East thinks just the opposite. There is strength in a mystery, in the transcendent. So then, when each one of them go and try to dissect a biblical doctrine, they're going to come not only out with a completely different conclusion, they take a completely different premise when they go to figure out that doctrine. So, for example, the East wants to leave an air of mystery in the doctrine. They think that to remove any mystery out of it and make it all clear, you removed some kind of power of the transcendent, God. And so then they believe that you removed God from it, and then there's no longer an air of mystery, then there's no longer a supernatural element to it. On the West, on the other hand, they want everything to completely make sense. And they think that if it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't hold powers. So if it isn't laid out wide open before you. So then they have those two different concepts. Well, you can see if you're studying a major Christian doctrine and you look at it, and if there is an air of mystery, and that's what they openly proclaim about that doctrine, it's just a mystery. You'll never understand it. You immediately know that doctrine was brought up in the East and primarily debated in the East, and the Eastern interpretation won out on that. But if you take another doctrine, that it's very simple, that it has a logical state question, and then it has a logical conclusion, and then there is a straight syllogism all the way through it that you can follow the chain of evidence to its logical conclusion. You know that doctrine was primarily argued in the West, and the Western interpretation won out on that doctrine. So at any rate, it's just a little bit of difference when you find in the Christian church. By and by, we could trace all of these doctrines through and find out their place of origin. So at any rate, like, comment, and share. I make videos every day. I try to make theology simple, and I take the ancient world and bring them into modern times.